49ers week. But it's not just 49ers week. It's throwback week, baby. And on this Sunday, going to break out those old school red helmets, those beautiful red helmets. Old school logo at midfield, end zones, old school everything. The Falcons throwing it back, old school. It's only fitting that we're facing an old foe, San Francisco 49ers. But not only that, old Kyle's coming back to Atlanta. He's coming back to the place that he's made a lot of enemies in. But I mean, really, Falcons 49ers week. Big game for both teams. I feel like, this is a game that long term, could impact stuff if the Falcons are able to stay in it. But you got to focus on this game at the end of the day. So, Falcons come in 2-3 after that awful, call last week that we all know. We've seen it a million times. 49ers beat the shit out of the worst team in football last week. All high on it, but I mean, we're not the fucking Carolina Panthers. So, I mean, I expect it to be a game, and I expect the Falcons to win. I will say that I think it's going to be a good game. I think that with the 49ers having, some key injuries in the secondary with Emmanuel Mosley and Jimmy Ward, I feel like that's where the Falcons can take advantage of it with Drake London. And heck, if he's playing Kyle Pitts, but we've been saying Pitts gets involved all year, and he hasn't. So, one thing we do have to look out from the 49ers defense is that number 29, Hufanga, I think is how you say his name. That dude is an absolute beast. I mean, he's a headhunter. He can blitz. He's good in coverage. That's the one guy that you got to look out for. But Nick Bosa, I don't know if he's playing or not. I know he has a groin injury. He might not play. Emmanuel Mosley, Jimmy Ward, they're not going to be playing. I think this is the game where, I'm not going to say we put up 30 points. As a matter of fact, I don't think either team's going to even be able to put up 20 points. But I feel like on offense, this is where you get the ball down the field and you get in good scoring positions with Drake London. I think that this has to be Drake London's big breakout game. His first 100-yard game. I think you got to give him the ball 7 or 8 times, 100 yards, and a touchdown. That's what I'm thinking you get out of Drake London. If you can get that out of him, I think you should be set up pretty well. Obviously, still continue to pound the rock. Run the football with Algier, with Huntley. Patterson's still on IR, so pound the ball with Algier. Pound the ball with Huntley. Take control of the game early and set a tempo. However, when you go over to the defensive side of the football, that there are still things to concern about. The 49ers have Deebo Samuel, have George Kittle. Kittle's really what concerns me. I don't know if there's a guy on this team that's capable of covering George Kittle. I think, if AJ shows up on his best game, I think he can lock down Deebo, but I don't know if we really got a guy that can cover George Kittle. So that's, I think, the main thing about that the 49ers on offense. If they were smart, I think they would just feed it to Kittle. And we know that Shanahan's going to like to run the football, so you got to look out for that run game also. Jimmy Garoppolo, he's the type of quarterback that, when he's in a good situation, his offensive line is protecting. He's a good quarterback. He can get the ball to his playmakers, and they do the rest. But when you rattle Jimmy, that's where the 49ers offense goes downhill. So I think you got to get to him early. You got to see, I want to see Ebiketie have a breakout game. He had that sack week 1 against New Orleans, and he's made some nice plays, but I want to see Arnold Ebiketie get a 2-sack game this Sunday. I really do. I don't know if it'll happen, but, obviously that's what I would like to see. Another thing is the 49ers struggle with artificial turf. They don't do well on artificial turf. Their players, I don't think, are conditioned properly to operate on that field. So, I mean, that's an advantage for us, And hopefully the fans, I don't know if I'm going to the game or not. I'd like to. Still looking at the tickets. I'm not fucking made out of money, but looking at the tickets, if some chance I don't go to the game, I'll stream it here, but I'd much rather be in that stadium with the rest of the DBN. We got to bring it this Sunday, because this is a big game. We've been in every game this season. We're 5-0 against the spread. We've been in every game this season. And I think that can stay the same Sunday. I think this is going to be a defensive ball game. I don't think this is even a 27-24 type ball game. I think you're going to have some turnovers from both teams. Hope Mariota doesn't screw it up in the end. But I think, the Falcons come to play on defense. I think they can force some turnovers. Could end up being a field goal battle. But I'll go with the Falcons win 19-17. I think the defenses at some point are going to end up taking over the game. But I think that we should be able to do enough, having Younghoe Koo, so, you just get them in good positions to kick field goals and you hold the 49ers off the board, that's a way you can win. But there are many ways you can win in this league. So I prefer, obviously, we go out, score 30 points on offense, have a big day there. But I just don't think it's going to happen. I still think the 49ers defense will have a good day. Mariota isn't a good quarterback. We all know that. But Jimmy Garoppolo, you can really say, isn't either. So I think that the Falcons, with it being home field advantage, and if it means anything, breaking out the throwbacks, hopefully that can help. But I'll go Falcons 19-17. I think it'll be a defensive ball game. I think the Niners definitely got a chance, and I think we got a chance. I think it's going to be a 50-50 game that's going to come down to the wire, just like it feels like every Falcons game has this season. So Falcons win 19-17. Think it has to be a big day from Drake London. Like to see Ebiketie have a big day, and I'm out.